We live in the most distracted era in human history, and whether you realize it or not, your attention is being harvested for profit every single second of the day. Millions of engineers, algorithm developers, and neuroscientists are working around the clock with one single objective: to keep your eyes glued to a screen, scrolling endlessly through short, meaningless bursts of digital content. They have successfully monetized your focus, turning your dopamine system against you while you pay for their massive profits with the most valuable asset you possess, which is your time and mental clarity. But while 99% of the population is falling into this digital paralysis, getting poorer and more brain-fogged by the day, a tiny fraction of individuals has figured out how to use this exact landscape to build massive wealth and personal sovereignty. If you want to achieve financial freedom in the modern age, you do not just need a business plan. You need to reclaim your brain from the matrix of cheap dopamine. The ultimate superpower of the 21st century is not just intelligence, hard work, or capital. It is the rare ability to focus intensely on a complex task for extended periods without giving in to distraction. When you look at the self-made billionaires, the top digital entrepreneurs, and the industry leaders of our era, they all possess an incredible capacity for deep work. They can sit down in a room, eliminate every single notification, shut out the noise of the world, and build high-value assets hour after hour while the rest of the world is constantly looking for their next quick fix of digital validation. To build a financial empire today, you must first undergo a complete reset of your internal reward system. When your brain is constantly flooded with cheap dopamine from video games, social media feeds, junk food, and instant entertainment, low dopamine tasks that actually build your future, such as reading financial reports, learning how to code, mastering digital marketing, or writing sales copy feel painfully boring and impossible to execute. Your brain naturally seeks the path of least resistance, driving you to trade your long-term potential for short-term chemical pleasure. The ultra-successful understand this neurochemistry better than anyone else. They intentionally starve themselves of cheap dopamine so that hard, high-value work becomes engaging, satisfying, and deeply rewarding. They do not rely on temporary bursts of motivation or emotional hype. They rely on engineered environments and strict systems that make failure nearly impossible. Furthermore, achieving true wealth requires you to transition from being a passive consumer of the digital economy to an aggressive, intentional architect within it. Every single day, you are either paying into someone else's ecosystem or you are building an ecosystem that pays you. When you buy unnecessary products to look successful, you are funding someone else's empire. When you spend 3 hours a day scrolling through short videos, you are generating ad revenue for tech giants while draining your own cognitive energy. The shift happens the moment you look at the world through the lens of a producer. Instead of asking yourself what content you can consume next, you must start asking what value you can create, what problem you can solve, and what digital asset you can build that generates cash flow regardless of whether you are actively working or not. The internet has democratized wealth creation to a degree never seen before in human civilization. 20 years ago, starting a global enterprise required millions of dollars in seed capital, physical real estate, corporate connections, and massive overhead costs. Today, a single individual with a laptop and internet connection and an unshakable focus can build an automated business that reaches millions of people across the globe with zero traditional boundaries. The playing field has been completely leveled, yet most people are using this miraculous gateway of unlimited knowledge merely to distract themselves into quiet desperation. If you want to break out of this cycle and achieve true financial independence, you must start making calculated, high-upside moves immediately. You must aggressively audit where your mental energy is leaking every single day. Cut off the toxic inputs, mute the irrelevant noise, and distance yourself from people who treat life like a joke and complain about circumstances they refuse to change. Invest your newly reclaimed focus into building rare, high-income skill sets that the marketplace pays premium rates for. Learn how capital moves, learn how online leverage operates, and learn how to position yourself where the future economy is heading. Wealth is not built in a single day of chaotic effort. It is constructed brick by brick through cold, daily consistency, disciplined focus, and relentless execution over a prolonged period of time. Stop handing your precious attention over to companies that treat you like a metric. Wake up to the game being played around you. Take absolute ownership of your mind and build a life of complete freedom.